me, Julia. I am back again with another kiln opening. This is number 27, I think. I'm trying something different. It's an evening, so I'm seeing how the lighting is, because during the day it tends to go light and dark, and it reflects that in the video. So I thought I would see what it was like on an evening, and the kiln's actually cool enough to open, and I just actually couldn't wait. So I had a sneaky peek. I did see a couple of drippies, or stickies should I say, to cookies, but it was only a brief look. I haven't got any pieces from the community kiln because I didn't actually get to my little group this week. There's a couple of exciting pieces coming from the community kiln. I've made some masks, and that's all I'll say on that. So they might be in the next kiln opening. So if you fancy seeing those, don't forget to subscribe so you're notified. But without further ado, let's have a look. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I just kicked my little trolley. Right, okay. Can you see? I'll turn you around a little bit. Hello, butter. Okay. Ooh, ooh, okay. Right, I'll not look too much. I'll just dive in. Let's go with the little sticky pieces first. Okay, this is 2 mugs that I made from one of the rescued molds that didn't have a bottom. So I did a really nice carving all the way around it, and it has more or less covered it up. So don't know if you can see any kind of little carving in there. You can just kind of see the lines. Let's have a look at the colours. Are you getting a true colour? Yeah, I think that's not too bad actually. So this colour, see if you can see the inside. The inside is more or less the same as the outside because I did it all the way through. So this was, do you remember in my last video I said that I would like to try some different combinations that I've never tried before with glazes that I'm not overly fond of, and see if I can pair them up with something that works. So this was 2 River Rock, because River Rock comes out brown and black, and that's about it. It worked really well on the tortoise that I did, but it is just kind of brown and black and really boring. So this was 2 River Rock, 2 textured turquoise, and I think probably where I went a little wrong is I just literally round the rim put a tiny bit of oatmeal, because I thought that would just encourage a little bit more colour. But to be fair, I don't think I needed to, because the colour's absolutely lovely. It's blues. You can see where it's a little more River Rocky at the bottom, because I think I did 2 River Rock all over, 1 textured turquoise all over, and 1 textured turquoise to about there. So you can see the River Rock a teeny bit more at the bottom and a teeny bit more on the handle, but look at the colour where it's pulled down there. It's absolutely gorgeous. I really like that combination. Now I wish that I've left them plain and not done them with the texture on, because you can feel a teeny little bit of the texture, but they're actually really nice and a really kind of cute size. But this was one of the rescue molds. It didn't have a bottom. It was all ruined and horrible, and I just thought I'll see if I can press a couple of mugs out of it. So just have a look at this one. This one only has 2 teeny drippies, and this one is only stuck on by the handle. I don't think I went all the way down on the handle as well. I stopped at about here, but it's obviously a very drippy combo, but really lovely. It's almost a little bit like the, what's that one that they do with obsidian and smoky merlot and seaweed? Is it not Galaxy mugs? Anyway, you'll know which one to do because it's always all over the groups. I actually think that this is just as nice, and you aren't using as much glaze. That they are stunning. They are staying because the, you know, the bottoms, well, to be fair, I really like them. That's why they're going to stay. They're a really nice cup of tea size. I'm not really a cup of tea drinker, but I do like a herbal tea sometimes. I really like them. Can you see the pattern on there? It's difficult because I can only see like a teeny little screen, but really I love the browns as it's coming out on the top, and that's because the oatmeal has pushed the glaze down. I still think there might have been a little drip if I hadn't have done oatmeal, because I think the oatmeal has affected this top section. I don't think it will have done much further down, but you can just see where the browns, almost like some purples, are coming through, and I think that's the oatmeal addition. I would do it again that way, but I would maybe do textured turquoise just to 2/3 on both coats, or do one full river rock, 1/3 river rock, one full textured turquoise, 1/3, so 2/3 textured turquoise. I think I would maybe stagger it like that to get the colour even. But I love those, apart from the little drippies. And I'd ran out of raised cookies. Raised cookies would have saved them, no problem. But oh, I really like that. Win-win for the first one. Right. Okay, well, let's do the other river rock. So I've tried to kind of do little themes within my kiln openings. So this one was to try out river rock in 2 different combos. And look at this absolute beauty. This one is River Rock 2. Have I written it down? Yes, it's River Rock 2 and Snow 2. That's as simple as it is. But look at the variations on that. It not cracks, because it's not cracked, it's very smooth. But it has the appearance of cracking. It's kind of almost leopardy. It's really, I have seen it before quite a while ago, and I totally forgot about it. But when I was like thinking of river rock combos, you know, like that came back up, and I thought, actually, I've got a little bit of snow left to play with. And I'm not a massive brown fan, but this is a bit like a Texas, is it called Texas two-step? Or like an oil spot glaze? Can you see there? Don't want to get too much glare on it. And this is just a dot ball. Just a really shallow one, because that was the other thing. I didn't think that I would get a lot of drippage. Originally, this colour was going on this ball, and then I thought, hang on, it needs to be the other way around, because this snow is not going to run, it's just going to do its thing, kind of meld, but this one needed to run. So yeah, really, what a really different combo. I think, yeah, for not liking brown, I think that's actually a really nice, different, because how many pinks and blues and other kind of colours and greens that they all come out similar, that's really different. So another win. So I'm happy so far. Let's have a look. Last thing on this shelf is this little piggy. Now, he hasn't come out quite the colour that I thought, but nonetheless, he's kind of more bacony colour than piggy. Now, he also was one of the moulds that I saved. Originally, it was a 2-part mould, and one part was salvageable, but the second part, and it's this way across, the mould is like half and then half. So it's not like it was half where I could do 2 of them. You know, if I did 2 of the bottom half, it'd just be like 8 legs. So the other half was so damaged, it was soaking wet and looked pretty terrible. So I put them in the box to go to the tip. And then just before I went to the tip, I heard a little piggy saying, please save me and just give me one last chance. So I did. I really tried hard to dry the wet side out, even to try to give it just one last chance as a mould, one last chance as a piece of pottery. So it's a really old-fashioned type of pig. Now it has under here like really large eyes. So to me they were like cartoon eyes, but it wasn't a cartoon kind of body and face, and I just really didn't know what to do with it. So I had thought about doing those cartoon eyes like Shelby Sherritt's that she does on a lot of her pieces, and it would have worked, but then I just didn't know what the glaze would go with that kind of vintage look with cartoon eyes. So I decided to go all over with 2 coats of kimchi, because when I've done kimchi before on buff clay, it's come out really pink. It's brought the reds out from the iron in the buff. However, this has gone really floaty, and he kind of looks a little bit more like fried bacon than a piggy. He is for Jacob, because any kind of animal that I make, Jacob claims, that's my son, and he has them all on his windowsill: dogs, cows, rabbits, all sorts of things. And this little fella, he's a money box. I'm going to find a stopper for the bottom, and he's going to go join all of his animal friends. I like it. If I can get another couple out of it, I've just thought if I do one in white, because I have a little bit of white slip, if I do one in white, I could do the cartoon eyes and do the flowers all over it. That might work with some cutesy flowers. I'm not very good at painting, so, but I could have a go. He did have a bigger, curlier tail, but it snapped off because he got bisque fired at my community kiln, and I was a little bit careless on the way home, and his other bit of curly came off. I think I've over glazed it for Spectrum. It was 2 coats. My coats are quite generous though, so that is what you can expect on a buff from Spectrum Kimchi. Jacob will love him for him just being a pig, but do I like the colour? I don't think so. So win for the foam, because the foam is lovely. Win for the foam. He's got little chubby cheeks, look. His little snout got blocked up. Win for the foam, but not for the colour. But if I do another one, he can sit alongside him on the windowsill. But he's actually really nice to hold. It's kind of really cute. So half and half, 50-50 on wins that one. Right, got to get this kiln shelf out. I've been doing a little bit of decorating in my studio, just as and when I really kind of broke myself doing it this week. It wasn't much, it was just like a little bit of brush work with a wood stain, but I had a really bad few days after that, so that's the penalty of, you know, what I got. Right, now I'll just get these out because ouchie, they are very hot. Hot balls. These are just some plain spheres for my garden. Now, if you've seen my kintsugi video, you will see my kintsugi tutorial. You will see that I've been using some nail varnish for one of my ways of doing covering up kind of cracks and things with grout and nail varnish. So what I'm actually going to do, because one of my friends, she said that I'd given her some ideas about using nail varnish, and I thought, oh, actually I could maybe paint on these plain spheres some flowers in nail varnish, because they're to go on my garden feature, which is a long piece of driftwood which has a lot of spheres hanging off it. One of them got smashed this week because Jacob's dad thought it would be good to play football in the garden with Lady. That's my little dog, and kicked it at my garden feature. So I wasn't particularly pleased. You know, 4 hours work down the drain, but there we go. Just a couple of plain spheres there. But it feels hotter than, it's now 51 degrees. Feels hotter. Right, okay. Oh, I'm going to get this out because this looks like it has a crack. It has got a crack. Oh no. Oh well, kintsugi. It is not a dot ball, it's a plain ball, but I did the moon texture on it. So it would seem that the white doesn't really like one layer of glaze, regardless of whether it's a dot ball or it's one piece. It's just simply glaze and plain. It's just not working with white. So that's okay though. It's not a major deal. It's only a little daunting. And this is 3 good coats of Flux Blossom. I really wanted to see, because after we had such a nice honeydew flux result with the green in the last kiln opening, I really wanted to see what Flux Blossom was like. Now, I don't know if you can see so well in there. It's just a pale, I would say it's almost a peachy pink. It's not pinky pink. And some of the pink has kind of pooled a little bit at the bottom, which is unusual. I don't think that's got anything to do with where it's dunted, but yeah, I don't know if you can see right just down here, some little dunting. So what I'm going to do is go in with my kintsugi style covering up of cracks, and I've got like a pastely pink nail varnish that I will use in that. Although the gold might look nice because it would kind of coordinate with the white, because it's an off-whitey. Yeah, it's a shame, but it's okay. I have another one of these as well, a smaller one, so that's going to get glazed back and front. But would I do the Blossom Flux on its own again? Maybe as a liner in a mug, but it's kind of plain. This is a nice crisp bowl though, isn't it, if you're having snacks or chips or whatever you want to call them. Chips in America, we call them crisps in the UK. But yeah, it is a nice colour, and I really do love this form, like this natural rounded kind of rock and ball form. But just another one for my shelf. I have quite a collection of things with cracks in now. I've got a cracked things, like a whole case, like with 2 shelves in that have all got my like cracked kintsugi things in. Right, okay. So which one am I going to get out first? I think I might get out Glugglejug. Do you remember the Glugglejug tutorial? If not, have a look back on my list under playlist tutorials. There is a tutorial for a Glugglejug. It was a couple of months ago, but I never got around to glazing it because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm not sure I wanted to do this. I'm not sure I like it. Anyway. Can you hear? It's having a real crack. And ancient copper does that. Now, the story goes, I had a little bit of rainforest. I had a little bit of downpour. And that's kind of all I had left of those 2. And I thought, it's not enough rainforest to just do rainforest. There wasn't enough downpour to just do downpour. So I mixed the 2 together, a little bit of water in, and then I added a little bit of vert luster. Just to give it a bit more green, because I didn't want to go blue because the downpour's obviously blue. So I figured I'd just kind of mix my own. And then I poured it in, and then I noticed as I was swirling it around, it all started pouring out of the bottom. And I was like, oh, there's got to be a hairline crack somewhere. So I thought, well, what do I do? Choices were to just abandon it because it's got a crack in. Chances also were that the crack would open whilst it was being glaze fired. I can't see any crack. So I figured with a stable kind of Celadon mix, it might just stay put and fill in the crack, especially from the outside. As it's melting, it would kind of push out, and I hope that it wouldn't push out too much and move because it's Celadon with a little bit of vert luster. So it hasn't covered as well as I thought it would. That's 4 coats. I thought it might have covered a little bit more solidly than that. It has gone a little patchy, but that's probably because it was just a mix of glazes that I did, and you know, they're not really meant to be mixed. But I wanted something to coordinate with the copper. It was the last of my ancient copper. I've got 1 more of the original recipe. They've now brought out a new recipe, ancient copper, which is going to be in the shops soon, I believe, because they discontinued it because they couldn't get a hold of some of the components, some of the ingredients. So I've been sparingly using my ancient copper, but then when I found out it's no longer discontinued, I was like, crack that ancient copper back out. And so I thought, well, you know what? I've got a pink fish that I did with Spectrum. That was the original. I've got a green one, a blue one, and a very random, that one with the big huge tail and the big huge head. So I thought, what colour can I do it? And I thought, well, use the ancient copper. So that was the Glugglejug tutorial Gluggle. Ancient copper and greens. I wouldn't refire it just for the simple fact that with it having that little crack, I just wouldn't put it through that. But green and copper, you know, they go well together, and I actually don't think it's too bad. I think the copper, if you look at where it's met the green on the top here, I actually think that's really come out nice. And look at all the texture on the tail. I'm happy with that. It hasn't got the kind of copper crystals as such, but it has some really lovely variation of colour. Let me see if you can see, if I just twist it around a bit. Yeah, so I'm actually, he will still take a really pride of place on my Glugglejug shelf, which is on the same shelving unit as my kintsugi bowls. So yeah, happy with that. I'm in a really waffly mood tonight, aren't I? It's because I'm really tired and I'm just rabbiting on for nothing. So last two pieces, but because not a massive kiln, because these two pieces took up too much height, so I could only put a half shelf in. And I don't know which to show you first. I think I'm going to show you this one first. This one is a wall hanging vase. So it's a flat back. So I have a mould that is a square, and that will be revealed in a minute. And I really loved the idea of doing kind of a blue decal on white clay. It isn't white, this clay. I think I'm going to look for a whiter one, but how pretty. I really tried hard on the decal. It's glazed beautifully actually, because it was a little patchy and I thought, is that going to look too rustic? But I think it looks absolutely stunning. And the way I've done it, can you see how this one fits across that? It goes, I think I did those two and then that one separately, but it goes on. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. It really is beautiful. And this on the top is one coat of downpour, because put my teeth back in, downpour, because it was kind of the end before I mixed it with the green here. Yeah, so one coat of downpour, because I did pour that in the bottom there, and then 2 coats, or was it 3 coats? No, 3 coats of blue rutile. Wanted to kind of find like a blue that would go well with it. I'm not sure it was the right blue. Excuse me. I think maybe Celadon Cobalt would have gone better, just as a really solid blue, but I didn't have enough cobalt. I've only got a teeny bit, it's lumpy, and the last time I used it, it went patch, excuse me. I've not long since eaten. But it's not bad. I do like the way they kind of seems to have gathered, because this goes all the way up to the top here. So I think it's gathered some of the blue underglaze. I think it's gathered it and brought it down a little bit around the edge. And I did a scalloped edge, so there was 2 scallops on here, and then there was 2 scallops on each one, but the blue rutile has moved it slightly. But I don't mind organic, whatever the glaze wants to do, but I am completely in love with this bit. It's absolutely stunning. That is gorgeous. This is going in my house, maybe in my bedroom, so I can just look at it, or somewhere like that. Most of my house is in greens, but I love this transfer, this decal so much. I'm really running low on decals now. I love that. I kind of want to do more things in it. So yeah, so I could have fired it that way and covered that bit, but then that bit would have been plain. So I took my chance that it would stay upright. It's looking pretty straight, so I'm hoping it will hang nicely. Is that my win of the kiln? I'm not sure, because this last piece, not had a good look at it. So let's get it out. Oh wow. Oh, now look. This was a green decal. This is completely my own fault. When I came to glaze this, I saw my clear and my zinc free. So I've got a zinc clear, which I was trying to get rid of, and my zinc free. And something in my head said, don't use the zinky clear over green. And then I was like, no, that's rubbish. It's no longer green, it's now brown. But nevertheless, it's actually still beautiful. In fact, every bit as beautiful as if it was green, because these kind of browns that have come through on these colours, I think actually still work really well. I wish that I could have seen what it looked like with green. So word for you potters out here, word of warning, don't fire your green decals with underglaze with zinc in. My own warning system told me not to, and I took no notice of it because that's typically me. So really, really beautiful though. So this foam is this one, two of them, obviously not this bit here, but two of the, this was yeah, it's a 2-pot mold, so I did both sides. But it is vase, so it's not a jug, it's just, you can imagine, it's just a vase, which I thought was like kind of plain, and I like to play and alter. So I did a little lip, is that what it's called? Lip? Pouring spout? I don't know. And I did a nice coiled handle, and I did a bit of blending in because obviously I thought this was going to be green. So the glazes that I used, let me just see. Oh. It was rainforest all over inside. It was that before I had the last of the rainforest on this one. So it was rainforest all over inside. Then it was one vert luster, one seaweed, and one honeydew flux. It is kind of breaky. I didn't go all the way right down to the bottom because I didn't want drips down here. I went to about here with the top coat, which was the seaweed. So it hasn't actually moved as much as I thought it would. I really love it though. It's broken quite a lot on the rim, on the edge of the rim. Don't know if you can, there, you can see that there. But oh, I can see I filled with some sangria in the garden, or Pims. Not that I drink Pims, but you know, people have round for Pims might drink Pims. But pouring a little drink out of there. Also, oh, I know what it would be. Fresh lemonade, pouring out of there in the garden, or a bunch of beautiful flowers. What do you think? But that is a gorgeous. I had done all of the leaves pointing in the right directions. Yeah, it was a labour of love getting it on, because it was pretty tricky, because I did it on bisque and it doesn't always sit well on bisque, because they'd been sitting on my shelves for a couple of weeks not knowing what to do with them. I had contemplated trying to do the flowers like Shelby Sherritt style, like lovely little flowers, but I chickened out because I'm really not very good, and I only have really limited colours in underglazes. I've got quite a lot of Bellissimo stroke and cut style glazes, but they tend to get a bit bubbly and need to be a little bit lower temperature. So, but anyway, that's that one. So if this had turned out green, I think it would have been my favourite piece. But as it is, let me lay it on the side. My favourite piece is this one. But they are so gorgeous colours. Yeah, but I think it's got to be this one. So guys, tell me, which is your favourite piece? It's not a huge amount of things to choose from, but they're quite big things in this one. So I'm totally losing my train of thought today. It's evening and I'm tired. I've said that already. I did want to tell you something else and I can't remember what it is. So I'll have to wait till next time. So I'm going to leave you there, guys, and say thank you so much. I'm so, so grateful for all of you. And for those of you whose daytime it is, have a wonderful day. And yeah, until next time. I am so excited to get my masks back. There are two very different ones, and get those glazed and put in the kiln. And I think there's a plate, and you know, so we'll see what happens with them. So see you I don't even know what I'm saying, do I? See you next time, guys. Bye.